It's week 14, day 90 of my full-time chronic pain rehabilitation journey. I'm Jason, and today I'm going to talk about how to reframe failure. Rather than a final judgment, it's actually just a step on the way to success. First though, a quick status update. I am extremely sleep deprived. About 2 weeks ago, I started tapering myself off of my sleep medications. This last week, I went off of them altogether, and I have had very many bouts of insomnia and very restless sleep, intermittent, it's just a mess. And I can feel the fatigue. It's more than I've felt this entire journey, and I'm just tired. Add to that today was my 13th ketamine trip, which leaves me feeling sick afterward, and you have essentially a perfect storm. My ketamine trip yielded an interesting idea that I want to share really quickly, which is that my mind is all that I need to be happy. Nothing externally really needs to change. I have a confession. I compulsively ate chocolate ice cream Sunday night. This is the first time I've done that in 3 months. And the reason I'm telling you about it is because I want to keep this video and this channel real. Meaning not everything that happens to me is a success. Sometimes I do stumble, and I want to fess up when I do and talk about it openly so you don't get this impression that somehow it's all smooth sailing, because frankly, it is not and has not been, and I'm sure there will be many more stumbles to come. All right, I have a tip today about psychedelics. They seem to work better when you are emotionally exhausted. Today I was physically and emotionally exhausted, and I found that the trip was longer than normal and much more immersive and vibrant. It was very powerful. I felt like it took me kind of to another level. And I had a similar experience about 2 weeks ago when I was just spent as well and had a very powerful revelatory experience where I realized that I wanted to be me. I think there's something to this. When your mind is not completely there, you don't have all of your defenses up like you normally would. You don't try to control the experience, and it can kind of just do what it wants. The psychedelic just takes over and pulls up all the stuff that you need, and it just comes out and you have a very powerful experience. So you may want to try them when you're really tired or emotionally exhausted. On to today's topic, reframing failure. This is a practical exercise with an example, and the example, because all I have is me, is about me. Let's go back to my confession of eating chocolate ice cream compulsively Sunday evening. I say compulsively because I just felt like I needed it, and all of my inhibitions went out the window, and I went to it like an ant goes to sugar, something like that. And the reframing, I'm going to go through this and use as a reframing example, and the basic idea is we're going to move from the concept of a failure, I failed in my journey because I ate chocolate ice cream, something like that, to seeing this as an incremental step towards a larger goal and an opportunity to learn. The first thing when you want to reframe is ask yourself, are there any mitigating factors? Are there any positive details or things that might make you look a little bit better that you're leaving out of the story that you're telling? And the answer is yes. I am more sleep deprived now than I've probably been in a very, very long time. When you're sleep deprived, your lower brain or amygdala takes over, your emotions run the show, and your prefrontal cortex kind of takes a back seat. That's the part that makes all the, delayed gratification decisions. And so that wasn't working. And it makes sense that I would go for chocolate ice cream. So it's not an excuse, but it is a mitigating factor. Further, most people can't get off sleep pills. They try to, and they go back on them. The fact that I have not relapsed so far also speaks well of me. This is a hard thing to do. The next question I ask when I'm reframing something is, was this attempt more successful than the prior? The answer is yes. Going for 3 months without eating anything compulsively, feeling driven to do it, is a major achievement for me. While it looks like a failure, it's actually much better than I was doing before I started my journey. I would compulsively eat probably once every couple weeks at least. So the fact that I got to 3 months is a definite improvement and a chance to improve upon that, but it was, in essence, a successful failure. And the other thing is I bounced back the next day, meaning I didn't stay in that state for very long. I came back really quick. I went to the gym today. I brought it hard and did everything I could to sort of correct course, and I bounced back quick. The next question I like to ask is, what did you learn, or what did I learn in this case? And the answer is that I have limits. In a few videos ago, I talked about possibly feeling invincible and not wanting to test that theory, and this was actually a test. I found out that I do have limits. I am human. I'm not invincible. What I did do is create an alternative coping plan for when I get in this kind of state again. I'm hoping it doesn't happen very often, but if I do find myself in a state where I just feel compulsively driven to eat something, I now have a new plan. And part of that is making sure that these foods are not as readily accessible to me. I actually borrowed them from a neighbor, and so I told them not to let me do that anymore, which is really stupid, but I was very driven to get chocolate ice cream. Fighting for your life means learning to reframe perceived failures. They're only failures if you fail to learn from them and stop trying. If you find my videos helpful, please pass them along and don't forget to subscribe. And until next time, keep fighting for your life.